what's going on in that tent.
Buddy, I'm sorry. You can use that other blanket for now.
I'm gonna check out this big tent here.
Okay. So in there's plenty of it's almost like just an open area. There's one or two Vistani kind of just leaned up against some sacks of goods that they had put there, and they kind of look up and oh yeah, you want to stay out? Come if you need to rest.
I motion everybody they can come on in.
With the drunk cat. I'm not following the drunk cat. Just gonna be here in the periphery of the trees. I'm gonna post up with my back against a wheel.
I move over just to
trees
get a view
feel
of
like
everything.
Okay. Everyone else is where they want to be, or?
Near the fire.
Okay.
It's warm.
So,
I'm getting a good night's sleep.
in the night, you guys are sleeping. There's a dream. You dream of a woman standing on a balcony of a castle, and this balcony is over a huge cliff, 1,000-foot drop. She is in a white wedding dress, and someone in the shadows is running towards her, and she looks back with tears flowing from her face, and she steps onto the ledge of the balcony and says, "You can't have me. No one can have me." And she falls into the 1,000-foot drop of the canyon. And you hear this wail from the shadowy figure, cursing and screaming. In the morning, you guys wake up, and even though you were leaning against the wheel, the whole campground is bare. There's a little smoke left of the fire, but there's
no tent.
no tents, no wagons, and no Vistani.
I had too much to drink last night.
It's for the best.
And in this morning, it's cold, and there's a fog kind of creeping in. To your east, what you didn't recognize it in the evening, but there's a path leading east, and there's fresh wagon tracks heading towards it further into the woods. What do you guys do?
How much time passed between when we went to bed and this morning?
Probably about 8 hours.
So with my 4-hour meditation, was everybody gone?
They would be gone
Yeah.
during the meditation.
I just didn't wake. When I came out of my meditation, I just didn't bother waking anybody else up.
Where exactly are the tracks?
So- They're going east. I would assume that what you did was you were a little leery to go into meditation for a while, and so on the latter half of that 8 hours, you went into your meditation for that 4 hours, and so you kind of came out of your meditation about the same time as them waking up.
DM takes control.
It's gonna be railroaded for the first little bit. Gotta get the adventure started.
And the woods look the same except for the tracks.
Perception check.
Jesus. 13.
The trees look a little more grim, like less colorful.
Does this look like the same forest to you guys?
I'd like to take a look around. There were a lot of guards out here last night. I'd like to see Other than I'm looking for evidence that there were people here.
So you looking around, you see where, obviously where the wagons were. There's so many like muddy footprints around the whole thing from the dancing and everything. Go ahead and give me perception, investigation, because you're actually looking for anything.
21.
You walk around the perimeter from where you can remember the guards are. And you can kind of see where they were standing, each one. On one of them, the one closest to where this path leads, there's a little book on the ground. And it's black.
I want to go to
Full
the
of phone numbers.
I want to go to the edge of the wagons where we came in, and right where their wagons end and where we would have come in. I want to look for our footprints, see if they're there. From the night before.
That path that you guys came from seems to not be there anymore.
It's a different forest.
Or a different place in the same forest.
Yeah. Pretty light sleeper, so.
All right, I'm gonna grab the book.
Okay. You pick up the book, and it looks to be like just a little black journal, and it has inscribed on it prophetic dreams. And you open it up, and it just a bunch of blank sheets of paper, almost inviting you to write in it. And this would be a trinket.
I'll stow it for now.
And all the other spot, you just kind of see like where like a couple other of the Vistani guards were. You see like a half smoked cigar, and a little pipe weed left over. Maybe they were hanging out. Yes, bud?
What'd you find over there?
Yes.
It looks like some of the guards were smoking last night. Although any time that I was able to look out there, I didn't even see anything being lit. So they must have done it well after dark. And there's a little journal that I found near the wheel ruts. It's just labeled prophetic dreams, but as far as I can tell right now, it's blank.
Weird. Dreamed about a woman jumping into a chasm or something last night.
I had something similar to that.
Had that dream.
Same.
And this, you don't see our tracks coming in either?
No tracks. Different path.
Can elves find their own tracks?
Hmm?
Do elves leave tracks, and can we find our own tracks?
You walk pretty lightly. In this instance, you both have pretty good nature sense. I'll let you both roll, Loki and Thalin, I'll let you both roll. Let's do survival.
Okay, I'll take it.
23.
25.
You both kind of come to the same realization and look at each other. And you're like, this does not feel like the Sword Coasts or the Misty Forest. Like if you feel like you're on it in a different plane of existence almost.
You guys find anything?
Are you still asleep?
No. Oh wait, but I'm not into the. Looks like the same camp. They just left me.
I'm really beginning to think that we're not in Kansas anymore. Kansas was this little village off to the side of the mountain where I used to live.
The trees look gloomier to me.
There are no tracks. He's a ranger. I grew up in the woods. I've walked the perimeter. I don't see anything of our tracks that have come in.
There's no way the wagon would have moved without me waking up.
Me too.
Something.
So if it was going east, I would have
Yeah.
heard something.
Something or no, we are somewhere else. And I don't think it's. I don't think we're in. I think we're stuck here. I think we're in a different plane.
No magic put me to sleep, right? Or
Nope.
anything like that? Because
Nope.
that can't happen.
Yes, I understand. You went to sleep on your, or you meditated on your own accord.
I would like to try to use Divine Sense to see if I can still use my god's powers. Just detects good and evil. Scroll. Right, yeah. Presence of strong evil registers on senses.
Divine sense.
Until the end of my next turn, it's only like 6 seconds. I'm more or less trying to test to make sure that I can still channel my own divinity.
You can. What's funny is there's actually a list of alterations to magic, but not that one. So you could still sense your Patreon.
Mm-hmm.
Does seem more distant, but you're still able to make a connection.
I try to investigate inside this wagon.
No, the wagons
There's
are
no
gone.
Wagons.
No wagons,
Oh.
no tent.
The barrels, everything. Some small embers of the fire.
Yeah, they're
Smaller
gone.
campfire and
So while you guys are talking, yes. Yeah, what? What? In a little while, we're gonna take a break pretty soon, and then I'll come help you. Okay? You want to watch a show? While you guys are talking, it was already pretty misty, but from the west, there's a really thick fog, slowly moving towards you guys.
But how far away is this rolling mist?
Maybe 100, 200 feet.
Okay. So we don't have to worry about the darkness yet then?
It's morning, right?
Yeah.
But it's so thick you can't see through it.
Are the embers still kind of hot?
This is like a normal, like how it would if it like petered out in the night and just kind of smoking a little bit. The mist seems to be swallowing up the forest as it starts to get closer to you guys.
Should we make haste out of here so that
I
little
think
fog doesn't get us?
I think the fog is. I don't know if I wanted to be in the fog. I watched.
I'm not a fan of fog.
I
they're being pushed.
I don't
Try
want to lose
to-
my bearings regardless.
Do you have any bearings? We can't see the sun, can't see the stars. You think we're in a different place?
Tracks going one way, no tracks going the other way.
I try making a torch just in case the fog gets us and we need light to kind of like know where someone is.
If we were able to see anything even with the light, I think we have 4 people with dark vision.
5.
But it's
5.
Oh, 5.
I think
Yeah.
who's the one person without?
None of us.
None.
Oh, you all have dark
All have
vision?
dark
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that worked out.
Yeah. Say don't have torches, so they're so expensive.
The few
Yeah.
we've used.
I think if it's coming from the west, the wagon wheels look like they went to the east. I want answers. I don't know if we can catch up to them, but I think that's the way. I think that's the first direction to check.
does the fog look like it's only coming from the west?
It seems to kind of almost be enveloping around, but there's like a gap for this path.
Something or someone wants us to do it that way.
I'm gonna grab this chunk out of the fire. And I'm gonna cast light and throw it towards the fog.
So the chunk goes in and it's burning and it goes into the fog, and just for like a couple 6-12 inches you see it, but then it gets swallowed up and you can't see any light coming from there.
So that was bright light.
Let's go.
I have my greatsword up and I start walking towards the wagon wheel track.
I don't want anything to
I
do
don't
with
want to be
that.
here anymore.
Alright. It's
Someone's got to answer.
Wrong one. So, and you're lawful good, so you're like acting out against being wronged. I think. Is that your? I'm trying to. What's
It's
your
more right now. It's more of a predicament that I have. I can't go back to finish what was required of me right now. So therefore, if I can't see that way, I'll follow the tracks another way.
So we don't need the minis just yet, but you guys start following this path. These are hexes, I believe. And you follow the path for a little while, and the fog almost seems to be slowly following you. You guys keep going for the better part of the morning, and you come upon some gates. I'll share the picture. They're huge gates. Now, it's not a castle, they're just these really huge gates.
There's a wall to either side, right?
Yeah, like, and the gates are open. So the huge iron gates are open, but rusted. And there's two headless statues of armed guards flanking the gates, and their heads are now laying down in the weeds at their feet.
I try to see if there's any tracks going through the gates.
So you guys have kind of been following those wagon and horse tracks and stuff, and they seem to go right through the gate.
Do the heads look human?
That was one.
The heads, yeah, they look like old, like human warriors.
I want to scan the wall and see if anyone's up there.
You look around, and it seems to be like completely empty. There's no sound. It's just quiet.
Are the trees kind of tall around the gate, like on our side?
Yeah, they're very tall and gloomy. They're definitely not happy little trees.
So these gates appear to be see-through on this image. Is that?
They are iron. Yeah, they're iron gates with
Okay.
like almost like a portcullis.
Yeah.
Portcullis.
Gates are open. No one's on the
And they're open.
Open.
They're not wide open, but they're open.
But the wagon wheel. So basically, if they're not very widely open, my conjecture, the wagons went through. You said so somebody opened them, and then they either.
They look like they've never been open. Like they look like they haven't moved in centuries.
yeah, so
they're rusted.
10, 12 feet.
So the wagon went through the gate.
Yeah.
Wagon went through the gate, but the gates didn't move.
Right.
Literally through the gate.
The ghost train, ghost gate.
Without the
Ghost
gates opening.
barn.
So are the gates 10 feet open, or are they 3?
They
4?
are not big enough to where you would think
Okay.
a wagon would come through.
Yeah.
They look like
The reason I ask is scale-ish wise,
yeah,
open-ish.
It's hard to see.
I
Yeah.
can get a wagon through an open-ish, 80
Yeah.
foot tall gate.
Yeah.
So,
Um,
all right.
they look open enough to where two people could walk side by side, but not like
Yeah.
8 to 10 feet wide.
Yeah, so they're 7-ish. Yeah.
More questions than answers.
That's how
So-
every good adventure starts.
But they're still leaving wagon tracks.
You see the tracks on the other side of the gate
Right.
continuing on.
So the wagons are still corporeal, or the wheels are still corporeal enough to leave tracks.
So you think the gate's incorporeal?
The fog's still rolling in behind us.
Are any of the trees nearby?
Yeah, except my character later would. Yeah.
Have no problem.
Well, there would be input. Can't give because he doesn't know what he is.
Are there any, are the trees climbable looking?
This kind of cut is like a little ravine, and it's really tall. So you could probably scale it and go over or around, but you could easily just walk through the gates as well.
Axe
Too.
at the ready. I start walking forward.
Well, I'd like to throw a rock at the gates
Okay.
to see if I hit see if I can hit metal.
Go for it. You throw it, and it hits the gate, and it makes kind of like a thunk sound, and a little bit of rust even comes off from the rock.
I walk over to
Fallon.
Fallon, and I ask him if he would like to scale a tree to see if we could see anything over the gate.
I take your question and I look behind me and I try to figure out how close the fog is.
It's still a little bit of ways, but you can see that the fog is coming closer.
I'm still walking towards the gate.
Bale starts walking towards the
Yeah,
gate.
I see no
follow
reason
along.
to delay. Let's go through the gate.
I don't think it's a good spot to get separated. I mean, we just met these guys, sure.
But who knows? It could be a trap on the
Yeah,
other
we
side
had a
of the
few,
gate.
we had some icebreaker conversations on the trail.
Oh, I forgot.
Meta, you said the symbol was on your axe.
Yeah, so
Okay.
looking at that, it goes out both blades. So it's not the full symbol, but it's like the top half of the tree
Okay.
on both sides. So you'd be easily able to tell.
So I should have done this at the very beginning. Will you shuffle that for me?
Yeah.
Quickly, before he draws a card, let's get through the gate.
You shall not pass.
Suddenly a demon foot. No,
The red demon prince pops out of nowhere.
I said I'd get you. Dreams
Alright.
of being a hobbit.
you guys go through the gate. Seems to be, nothing happens. You guys walk through without an issue. You walk a little further, and as soon as the fog gets to where the gates are, they slam shut on their own.
Goody.
Something's
Son of
pushing us
a-
this way.
So with
And then Loki, give me a perception check.
Yeah. 12.
12? You look back at the gates, and up near the top is a lone raven. And this raven flies down, just gliding right over you guys. Kind of looks back at you and then starts heading down the path some more. It disappears. Like not disappears, but just goes far enough to where you can't see it anymore.
Something really wants us to go this way.
Okay, so we're on the other side of the gate.
Mm-hmm.
How far to the nearest building?
Building?
Yeah. Or is there any building?
Right now, all you see continuing on
It's
is
just more
forest.
Does the
Who's in the front?
Me.
Both you guys? Well,
Yeah.
since you just did it, I'll have you roll a perception check.
20, not natural.
You smell the scent of death in the air. And it kind of seems to be coming from the south side of the path, like in the trees of it.
Immediate turn to the south. I start heading that way.
Off path?
Sure.
You guys follow
where
him?
you going, man?
Glory's over here. Time to conquest.
has the demeanor of the woods changed after we've got behind the gate? Is it since?
It's the same.
Okay.
Stench of death. Ooh, I like the clouds.
It's fog, I think, maybe.
Mist.
Fire stays on the path as long as he can, so he's now in the back.
Hold on, Dawson. Yeah, my wheel was a little tricky. Come on.
Axe at the ready, going forward.
Yes, Dawson?
You get about 10 feet ahead of me. I'm going to draw my sword and follow.
Oh no, I just locked my computer. Okay, 1 second. Yes, you can, Dawson.
I look over at Loki. We're gonna leave these guys. Are we gonna let these guys go in alone?
I'm going in with them. I'm staying at the back now, though.
So,
Oh, right.
So we're coming in this way?
Yeah. From the north.
yeah, you're coming down right here.
Woohoo!
So the foul scent leads you to a human corpse, kind of half buried under some underbrush, about 15 feet from the road, so not too far in. The young man seems to be a commoner. Muddy clothes torn. There's claw marks. There's like mostly bone. Not much skin or meat left on him. Crows have definitely been at the body, and the area is surrounded by just bare footprints,
As in human feet?
as in humanoid. It looks like it's been dead definitely for several days, if not weeks. And crumbled in his hand is a piece of paper.
I walk up to him.
You're at the back.
You're in the very back.
But I'm curious.
You want to grab it or me?
I'll grab it.
Okay. You grab the piece of paper out.
I'm going to search the rest of the body while he's looking at the paper.
In the future, guys, for situations like that, I have a spear. I can try and touch and move things without having to make contact.
Got a long sword I could poke with too. It's
You
already
fear
out.
nothing.
Yes.
What's the worst that could happen?
Been in the military too long.
Burgomaster of Bavaria.
Is there anything else in the
Barovia.
body?
There is none.
Okay. So he's
Send you honor with despair. Man, this thing is like my adopted daughter Irina has been these past nights bitten by a vampire.
At the mention of vampire, I'm going to check the mouth for fangs.
The teeth are like normal. Yeah.
For over 400 years, this creature has drained the... I'm assuming I can barely read this. It's much worse than... I'm not that slow of a reader. I'm just trying to clarify it.
Yeah.
Now, my dear Irina languishes from an unholy wound. Ooh, unholy. I can do holy. Caused by this vile beast he has become too powerful to conquer. So I say to you, give us up for dead and circle this land with the symbols of good. Give us up for dead. Let holy men call upon their power, that the devil may be contained within the walls of weeping Barovia. Leave our sorrows to our graves and save the world from this evil fate of ours. There is much wealth entrapped in this community. Return for your reward after we are all departed for a better life. Signed, Coylan, Burgomaster. Wait a minute here. Much wealth in the community, but don't do anything? Give us up for dead, but come back after we're departed.
I'm going to take a tinderbox out and start to light his clothes on fire.
Okay.
It's gonna smell bad, you know.
Warrior's death.
You start to burn his clothes off, and the little bit of flesh that's left on starts to cook as well, and then the stench kind of starts to fill the area a little bit, and you guys start to hear some groaning coming just south near this pond, and you see 3 figures start to rise up from the water We will roll for initiative. First time.
Ooh, 7.
9.
9.
What's the hot die?
17.
Yeah, trying to figure out which one's a little bit more consistent tonight.
Eldridge.
15.
Rolls tonight.
I know.
So Fallon gets to roll first. So these, to describe them, they look like they were humans. You know, like they look, you know, their flesh is kind of falling off of them. They're kind of slowly, you know, coming towards you guys.
Seven. I don't get to hide behind people anymore.
You get to go right into it.
That's it for now.
All right. You can go to Eldridge.
Dex saving throw for that guy.
Okay. Man, okay, that is a terrible dex. So 17.
And that would be I miss.
Just okay. Anything else?
No, I'm good.
Now that I know what class you guys are all playing, I'll be able to get some posters on order. I'm just looking at Joe.
This guy?
Yeah.
Been my desk coaster in my home office.
Yeah,
Nice.
same.
We'll get
Now
another.
I'm waiting to come back here.
Alright, so what are you gonna do? Anything else?
No.
Okay. What's their move? So this one. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we go to Loki.
Okay. I move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Okay.
And am I able to try to sneakily go that way? Like go around without them noticing me?
I mean, they're gonna know if you're gonna attack. They're gonna know. They're gonna see you. Like, you have no mechanical advantage for trying to be hidden
Yeah.
for your attack.
So
So are you gonna do a longbow attack then?
Yeah, I'm gonna do my longbow.
So +6 to that.
That's 14.
Total?
Yeah.
Must have been a bad roll. Yeah, that hits. And what's your damage for the longbow?
It is 10.
10. Okay. So, which one was that one?
This one.
Alright. So he takes 10 damage. And so you hit that longbow and just gets him right into the flesh. And his arm is just kind of almost like hanging on by some sinew, but it's still like coming after you guys.
And my turn.
Okay. Then we go to Blazing Fire.
I'm gonna go this way. And I'm gonna send a bolt of fire at that same guy.
Okay.
Oh, that's 22 to hit.
Oh, well, that hits for sure.
I don't even know what that looks like. This one?
A hit?
D10. 7 points of fire damage.
Nice. Okay. So that fire gets, radiates across its body, and it's like flesh is just starting to melt off of it, and it's really slowed it down, and it's like, like that arm that was hanging on just falls off to the ground. And he's just looks like he's barely
Move
hanging
on,
in there.
finish him!
Bail.
Bruh.
Right, we're gonna split the difference. In the middle.
I like the mist effect with the
Yeah.
Sure, let's swing at the injured one.
new fantasy grounds.
Slay. 19 to hit
Definitely.
for a total of 9 points of damage.
And that was the same one or the other one?
The same one.
Okay.
Injured.
So you and what's that? What weapon?
Great axe.
You take that great axe and you cleave this monster, and it goes down. And I'll take him out of the way too, since you burned it.
Yeah.
So then we go back to the top with Dallin. Is it Brylar? Is that how you say it? Yeah. Okay.
I might take Gene Roddenberry's role, and whoever pronounces it first that's the pronunciation.
There you go. It could have been Brelar, but I figured Brylar sounds more elvish.
I'm gonna 1, 2, and a two-handed spear attack for a 1d8 plus 3. 6.
Now, is that one you don't have to roll an attack on, or
Oh yeah.
you can keep the 6 if you want
Actually,
to?
wait. I don't think I have to. No, I think on the two-handed spear attack I don't have to.
It's just straight up damage, like automatic hit.
No way.
Well, on the on the character sheet it doesn't show it doesn't show having to roll. Now I close myself out of the character.
How long we left for you? What's it called?
Hold on.
Is it the spear?
It's-
Spear?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a plus 5 to hit. So yeah, roll the d20.
8.
That hits.
And then it's 1d8 plus 3. So 6. And then, since I am within 5 feet, I can do an unarmed kick. So that with plus 5, so that's 20 to hit.
Hit.
And
Definitely.
4 damage.
4? So it's a total of 10.
Yes.
So the 6 and then 4. Cool. So yeah, so you do that spear punch, right? I'm assuming, and it's almost like your fists turn into like daggers. Like it just you break through this flesh of this monster, and then you kind of leaning back, and then you kick him, and then right into the gut, and you're like, ugh! And it kind of boils over, but then it kind of comes back up and gets ready to fight some more. Aldridge, cold water.
I'm gonna step up and swing the longsword for 15.
Definitely.
And that's an 8. That is an 8 plus 3 is 11.
On the same
Same one. Yep.
So you take that longsword, you slice through it, and almost cleave it in half. But there's just little bits of flesh that are holding it together from falling apart.
All right.
And he's still barely standing.
All right. I'm gonna backswing with that sword then. It's a 17 to hit for another 10 points of damage.
All right. So you finish off that monster, and it finally splits in two. Now, on their turn, another one pops from the trees, and another one there. The one that's here is going to come up. 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's going to slam attack at Thalon for 15.
Armor class is 17.
And it misses. And this one is going to come over towards Loki and slam attack it as well. 16.
Hit.
And you take 7 bludgeoning damage. And then this one's gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4. And attack. Bale. I'm assuming 6 misses.
Yep.
Alright, so then we go to Loki. Now remember, if you want to back away,
Oh yeah, he's gonna get a hit.
he's gonna be able to try to hit you, and you'll have to drop your bow if you want to switch to sword.
I'm gonna go back away. So,
Okay, so he's gonna try to go on.
You disengage, or are you gonna just back away?
11. He misses on his opportunity attack.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay.
And I'm gonna try to hit him with my longbow. 20
Natural.
natural.
All right. So you just really cleanly shoot that bow, and it goes right into its eye. And let's hear on the damage. So I can't remember how.
Do I do double what I rolled?
Yeah.
Yes.
And then you add whatever modifier.
That's
Rolled
right.
6. And then
So you rolled
10 damage.
You rolled 6.
Well, I rolled a 3 and then I got double 2.
So 6 plus
4, so it's 10.
10 damage total. Okay. These low numbers at level 1. Like you're not even on crits.
Well, I did kind of get it back.
All right. So
Well, numbers I maxed the longsword.
blazing fire.
I'm going to cast Chill Touch on this guy.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not so good. Oh, it's plus 6. 15.
That hits.
Five points of necrotic damage, and if he's undead, he's at disadvantage to attack.
Nice. 5 points. So that chill just kind of almost like the bits of flesh that are loose kind of freeze up, almost like a freezer burned package in the freezer. And but it kind of it's almost disabling to it a little bit. Fail.
We're gonna try to cut him right in half at the hips. 23 to hit.
Oh yeah. And this is the same one that he got.
Yep. Ooh, I don't have that yet. That's 5 damage.
Okay. So you swing and you chop off a little bit of flesh, but it didn't seem to do a lot of damage to it. We're back at the top. That one.
Alright, to the guy right in front of me, two-handed spear, trying to swing at him like a quarter staff. 24 to hit.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Would be 9 damage.
Alright.
Then bonus action, knee attack,
Okay.
and 17 to hit.
Yes.
6 damage.
Alright, so yeah, you just beat the crud out of this one and he goes down. And we'll go to Eldridge.
Step up and swing the longsword again. That is a 9. That's lovely. 9 to hit.
I feel like these
Definitely
rounds are
hits.
going a lot faster
Good
than
lord.
they usually go.
And that would be
I guess it's because maybe we don't
Wrong
be
die.
able to do
We
as
have,
much.
we have very few choices
11.
to make, yeah.
11, alright. So that was for... which one I think? Okay, yeah. Got it.
yeah,
So he's going to try and slam you back at disadvantage, right? crit fail. And then the other one, he's just gonna try and go blind. Get closer to Loki. And Loki, you're up.
I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
7.
He's an elf. Wood elf.
Oh no, actually I'm gonna go.
You don't have to go the full 7.
I'm gonna go here.
Okay.
And then I will shoot with the longbow.
Okay.
24,
Hits.
and then another 10 damage.
So yeah, that one arrow's in this eye. That other arrow you just shot goes into the other eye, and he's just kind of like blazing fire.
I'm gonna do the same thing again. The same guy.
Chill touch.
Yep. Ooh, 10 to hit.
That hits.
That hits?
Dying
Yeah.
its turn, actually.
8 points of necrotic damage.
Okay. So yeah, you freeze it even more now, and it's like it's almost like having trouble just even moving. Fail. Oh,
I'm not gonna move away.
He's got disadvantage on attacks again. Yep, go ahead. Swing at me.
Okay. So that is 9.
And swing. 11 for 10 points of damage.
Okay, and so you swing at that one, and he just gets sliced into pieces.
Thanks for saving my life, dude.
Oh, yeah.
And we go back to the top with Dallin.
Same thing. Two-handed swing with my spear. 13 to hit.
Hits.
6 damage.
Oh yeah. You again, you're just like beating the crud out of these guys.
And then unarmed kick. 13 to hit.
And it's down.
Oh,
It was
sorry,
down.
down.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It went down.
You kicked him while it was down.
You like kind of like almost like like no mercy. Like,
Strike first, strike hard, no mercy.
Yeah.
so we were out of combat, and you got these chunks of mutilated monsters all over the ground,
And all over the monk.
and you've got that letter that you read.
I have a nice wound.
Yeah, you took some damage there.
How much?
I was at 12, and then I got dropped down to 5.
So, I'm gonna walk up to him and put my hand on him and say, "Are you okay?"
So when you do that, this just energy kind of leaves your hand and warms his shoulder, and you start to feel a little bit better, like 1 hit point's worth.
Yep.
And you feel like this, like a little bit of energy left you, but you don't feel like you've lost something of yourself, but you actually feel like you've gained morale by helping someone.
Are you feeling better?
Yeah, I feel a little bit better.
Weird. Oh, I'm glad.
Okay.
So evidently this place has quite a marketing campaign trying to get people to come out here.
Really?
Yeah,
You get the same thing?
basically.
They are different.
2 different letters. 2 different people. We should get back to the path.
I think the path is the problem, but the alternative is worse.
They might come back.
I walk over to check to see if the water is like poison.
That's
Looks
easy.
weird.
It's just stagnant water. You know, like it's a little disturbed and muddy from where those beings were coming out of the water.
I don't want to drink water with bodies that had bodies in it.
I wouldn't give you that water on you.
I would advise against this.
Only we had a horse.
Long pork soup.
Did we see the tracks from the wagon anywhere?
Well, you're off the path a little bit into the woods, but are you guys going to go back to the path? I'm assuming.
Did anybody see anything ahead of us on the path?
No.
No.
Well, I got sidetracked by the smell of death. I was itching for a fight.
Is it just me, or is it kind of weird that after we passed that gate that this happened? And how it was all kind of fine before?
I think it's weird that the gate stopped the fog.
Yeah.
Oh, the fog has
it's still
come through.
approaching?
It's just right about when the fog came, the gates closed.
Okay.
But the fog is still. It seemed to have subsided while you guys were dealing with this, but now that you've made it past back to the path, it's starting to encroach on you guys again.
Did anyone see a raven earlier flying over us?
We're
I
going
saw some sort of bird.
we're going the way that we need to go.
Barovian East.
Yeah. It's the
I have a
Eastern
feeling.
Bloc. Well, see, you were going east, but now you're going west in this plane.
We're in the upside down.
The southern hemisphere.
Here, I'm just gonna open this up some more here. There we go. You guys get through the woods. And it all kind of opens up into some plains. To your south, you see a river flowing through. To the far west, through the regular mist, you can start to see a small village in the distance. And as you follow the path through, you get closer to it, and you see some dim light coming from the village. You start to pass some farmland as you guys keep going. Anything amongst yourselves, like just from what happened or whatever, do you want to talk about while you're walking?
I was going to, but does the farmland look active?
So, a lot of it does not. You see that, like, some of the farmland looks like the crops are just overgrown. Another one looks pretty bare, just barren, but not like fruitful or freshly dealt with.
By overgrown, you mean with like weeds?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, it looks like there was like you would see some like corn, but then like it only maybe didn't look like it made it to maturity, and then got encroached by weeds. And
Okay. Well, first of all, I think it seemed like we've been fighting together before. So, but
Adrenaline does that.
yeah. Are you always such an impulsive fighter?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm not itching for a fight.
God of War symbol on his axe.
I'll
Same as my
I'll flash
shield,
it.
so
Okay. I'll let you guys go in front.
Were you going to run from such unholy abominations? Are you a coward?
Where are we on this right now?
you're
Right about here.
We can see the
you
river.
can see the river down to the south, and you can see the village
in
ahead.
Orcish, I'm gonna say they must not fight where they're from.
I
And
say
then,
we
like,
go to
scratch
the
my head and be
village
like,
and see if it's inhabited.
Okay, I don't speak that.
So it's about midday now, but as you come out from the trees, you would expect to see more like light and everything, but this mist and clouds, I mean, you could tell that it's daytime, but there's no sun breaking through. It was like very much like when it was smoky around here. And where there's just this weird vibe of light, because it's hard, it's not breaking through the clouds.
Teller and Riyadh. Wheel of Time reference, sorry.
Alright.
And
So you guys keep moving on,
To the village we go.
and hold on a bit.
What's the size of the hex?
I'll have to look when I get the other map. Hold on a
Okay.
second.
gotta be 100.
Come on. Oh, that's
100
this.
or 50.
Just wondering what my Elvish eyes tell me.
One moment and I'll let you know.
Looking with your elvish eyes.
What did it not say? Oh. Well, 1 hex is a quarter mile. So it's not
Oh.
very far.
A couple miles though.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and take a break here and then we'll continue on.